Hi, everyone. My name is Rosalie Rossi, and I am the Program Manager for GRIIDC. This webinar is an introduction to GRIIDC, a multidisciplinary data repository for Gulf of Mexico data. Following the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, BP committed $500 million to fund a 10-year independent research program to study the environmental and public health effects in the Gulf of Mexico. This program, the Gulf of Mexico Research Initiative, was distinctive in that all data were mandated to be publicly available. GRIIDC was established at the Hart Research Institute for Gulf of Mexico Studies at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, to house this multidisciplinary data. The team includes a program director, program manager, software developers, and subject matter experts. GRIIDC's primary task is to archive and disseminate data to the research community. Users can search for and download data and metadata for free, and researchers can store their data at GRIIDC for a fee. GRIIDC's mission is to ensure a data and information legacy that promotes continual scientific discovery and public awareness of the Gulf of Mexico ecosystem. GRIIDC has expanded beyond GOMRI and stores and disseminates data from the Hart Research Institute, NOAA, the Centers of Excellence programs in Texas, Florida, and Mississippi, and the National Academies of Sciences Gulf Research Program. GRIIDC houses a variety of data types, providing a repository for data that may not be accepted elsewhere. Over the 10 years of the GOMRI program, a network of GOMRI researchers have formed who have been trained by GRIIDC in data management and data organization and are now familiar with the data management system. Additionally, GRIIDC has focused development and data package review efforts on following FAIR data principles to ensure the data are findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. GRIIDC addresses the entire data management lifecycle, including training users, data management planning, submission, review, citation, and distribution. GRIIDC also provides management tools for administrators and researchers, including a dataset monitoring page. Some examples of the types of data that are in the GRIIDC repository include biology, ecology, oceanography, chemistry, health, and social science, to name a few. These data are primarily Gulf of Mexico focused and range from data collected in the field to model data to data generated in a lab. These data can be useful for determining where restoration efforts should be focused, building on research projects, determining research gaps, and a number of other research opportunities. Developing a data repository while researchers were collecting post-oil spill data was a challenging task. Additionally, researchers at this time, over 10 years ago, had limited experience sharing data. GRIIDC quickly determined that a data management workflow needed to be developed to help with these challenges and guide software and researcher development. This data management workflow prioritized researcher training and data organization before submission and distribution. This cycle, which is unique to GRIIDC, uses FAIR data principles at each step. During the data package review process, GRIIDC discovered that data were poorly organized, files could not be opened, datasets contained published materials, and were not well described. To mitigate these issues, GRIIDC developed guidance documents for a variety of data submission and organization topics that are available on the GRIIDC website. GRIIDC hosts training webinars and workshops at conferences to help researchers navigate the system, submit quality data and metadata, and provide data organization best practices. GRIIDC is also available for one-on-one help through emails and phone calls. The quality of data and metadata submitted to GRIIDC has greatly improved throughout the years, and GRIIDC is hopeful that training will help researchers with future data sharing. Hence, training is an important first step in the data management process. GRIIDC requires that researchers plan before they submit a dataset to GRIIDC. A dataset information form is created by the researcher before they collect or generate data. This information is used by the researcher to help them organize data for submission to GRIIDC and helps GRIIDC allocate resources for ingestion. This is also beneficial for program managers as there is a record of what data are going to be collected, which can be used to follow up with researchers regarding submission deadlines. GRIIDC also provides data management plan templates, resources, and guidance for those who would like to create a more detailed plan for their project. GRIIDC has streamlined the submission process by providing an easy-to-use form that prompts users to provide metadata before they submit the data file. The multi-file submission feature allows users to submit multiple files and/or folders, download files, and delete, move, or rename files in the submission interface. All datasets are reviewed by a team of subject matter experts who ensure that dataset files can be reused by verifying that data are not corrupt, are in reusable formats, are complete, do not contain material subject to copyright, and are well documented with ISO 19115-2 metadata. GRIIDC assigns DOIs for each dataset using DataCite's minting services. GRIIDC provides information to researchers regarding data citation best practices so that the original author receives credit and the dataset is more easily located and accessed. Additionally, the dataset citation information is included on the dataset landing page. GRIIDC data are discoverable via the GRIIDC ERDAP server, GRIIDC dataset landing page, GRIIDC search application, Google dataset search, the Registry of Research Data Repositories, and Data One. Oceanographic data are also submitted to the National Centers for Environmental Information for long-term archival. A subset of GRIIDC data are available on ERDAP. ERDAP is a data server that converts, catalogs, and serves scientific data with a user-friendly interface. ERDAP can interact with different types of data servers and offers the user an easy way to search, explore, and download data in a variety of data formats. It also allows the user to subset data, access data from multiple datasets simultaneously, and create maps and graphs. Each GRIIDC dataset has a landing page that includes a download button for the data and metadata, information about the dataset, associated publication information, map of the study site, and contact and citation information. Users can search for datasets using the GRIIDC search application. Helpful features include the ability to use advanced search terms, more relevant results, narrowing results to a specific field, and additional filtering using facets. Data can also be found through Google's dataset search, and the repository itself is listed under the Registry of Research Data Repositories. As a Data One member node, GRIIDC datasets can be searched using an interactive map or keywords on the Data One site. GRIIDC collaborates with the National Centers for Environmental Information to submit GOMRI-funded oceanographic research cruise data for long-term archival. Data packages consist of one or multiple GRIIDC datasets, location and README files, a data dictionary when applicable, and collection-level metadata. GRIIDC provides different management tools for administrators and researchers. The GRIIDC dataset monitoring page lists all datasets for a specific project and includes the status of the dataset in the data management cycle. This information can be downloaded as a report in PDF format. Additionally, the dataset landing page includes a download count for the dataset, and the GRIIDC statistics page provides information about the entire GRIIDC collection. GRIIDC has developed subsites as a service for some funding agencies. The subsite contains data specific to the funding organization, has custom styling to the funding organization's style guide, and contains project pages that list people, data, and publications for that specific group. If you are interested in storing data with GRIIDC, please contact us at gridc@gomri.org to request a quote. Thank you.